Chosen one, what if I told you that an entire group of spiritual enemies tried to take you down, but they failed? Now they are afraid of your power. You weren't supposed to make it this far. They thought they could stop you, that they could break you, that their collective power would be enough to bring you down. But they underestimated you. They underestimated your resilience, your divine protection, the strength that runs through your spirit. You were not just fighting against one enemy. You were battling an entire force, a group of dark energies working against you, casting obstacles, sending confusion, trying to drain you of your light. But instead of falling, instead of losing yourself in fear or doubt, you rose. You broke every chain they placed on you. And now, the same ones who tried to destroy you are terrified. They can feel that their power is gone, that their influence has been shattered, that you are untouchable. You need to understand what this means. You were never an ordinary person. The darkness does not waste its time on those who are weak, on those who pose no threat. They came after you because you are powerful beyond measure. And now they have realized their mistake. They cannot control you. They cannot silence you. They cannot stop what has already been set in motion. Stay with me until the end, because today I am going to reveal why they targeted you, how you overcame their attacks, and most importantly, what happens next now that they fear you. Like this video and comment 77 if you know you've been through spiritual warfare and survived. Now let's begin. Why they targeted you in the first place. They never wanted you to realize your power. From the very beginning, they saw something in you that most people never even recognize within themselves. You carried a presence that unsettled them, a strength that made them wary. They knew before you did that you were different, that your energy carried the weight of something greater. This is why they targeted you. It was never about what you did. It was about who you were always meant to become. The darkness only fights those who are powerful enough to threaten its hold. That is why your life has been filled with resistance, betrayals, obstacles, and relentless attacks. They knew that if you ever discovered the truth, if you ever saw yourself clearly, you would be unstoppable. And that is exactly what is happening now. The struggles you have faced were not coincidences. The moments of loneliness, the betrayals by people you trusted, the times when you were made to feel like you were the problem, it was all designed to break you. They planted seeds of doubt, making you question your path, your gifts, your purpose. They wanted you to shrink, to give up, to believe that you were powerless. But something deep inside you never let you quit. No matter how many times you were knocked down, something within you refused to stay down. That is your divine nature, the part of you that cannot be destroyed. They underestimated you. They thought that if they threw enough obstacles in your way, you would surrender. But instead, you transformed. Instead of breaking, you elevated. Now, they don't know what to do because you were supposed to be defeated, but here you are, stronger than ever. The truth was always written, waiting for you to see it. In Zephaniah 3 verse 17, it says, "The Lord your God is in your midst, a mighty one who will save. He will rejoice over you with gladness. He will quiet you by his love. He will exult over you with loud singing." Even when you felt alone, you were never abandoned. Every attack against you was seen. Every attempt to silence you was noted. And now their time is up. They can no longer touch you because divine protection has surrounded you. You were being prepared, refined, strengthened for a greater purpose. Every battle was necessary to shape you into the warrior you were meant to be. You weren't just going through struggles, you were being trained for something bigger. And now that training is complete. Now the signs are everywhere. You feel it in your energy, in your thoughts, in your emotions. You have shifted in ways you can't fully explain. The things that once drained you no longer have power over you. The people who once manipulated you can no longer reach you. You have outgrown the spaces where darkness tried to keep you confined. Opportunities are opening, divine connections are forming, and clarity is replacing confusion. Where there was once fear, there is now unshakable confidence. Where there was once doubt, there is now certainty. This is how you know you've won. This is how you know that they have lost. Because they threw everything at you, and instead of losing yourself, you found yourself. This is why you were targeted. Not because you were weak, but because you were chosen. You were always meant to rise, to disrupt the patterns, to break the cycles. And now, the enemy knows they have no control over you anymore. You are standing in your full power, and they are afraid. They know that nothing they do can reach you now. Comment protected if you feel the truth of this in your soul. Because now, we need to go deeper. We need to talk about how you overcame their attacks. How you overcame their attacks. First, it may have felt like you were losing. The setbacks, the betrayals, the sleepless nights where everything seemed to be falling apart. It was all designed to break you. They wanted you to question yourself, to doubt your path, to feel so overwhelmed that you would give up. The attacks weren't just external. They infiltrated your mind, whispering lies, making you wonder if you were truly chosen or if you had imagined it all. They tried to isolate you, making you feel as though no one understood your struggle, as though you were alone in a battle too great to win. The weight of confusion, the exhaustion from spiritual warfare, the sudden losses and unexpected hardships. None of it was accidental. These were orchestrated attempts to strip you of your power, to make you forget who you were. But something deep inside of you refused to break. Even in the moments where you felt like giving up, something greater held you together. And that's when the realization began to set in. You were never alone in this battle. Every time they came against you, there was something unseen standing between you and destruction. Every time they tried to plant doubt in your mind, a higher force reminded you of your purpose. You may not have realized it then, but you were covered, guarded, shielded by an energy far greater than theirs. Even when the attacks were at their worst, when it seemed like nothing was going right, you always had just enough strength to keep going. The right words would come at the right time. The right signs would appear when you needed them most. There were moments where you felt a force pulling you back from the edge, redirecting you, reminding you that the battle was not just yours to fight. That protection wasn't random. It wasn't luck. It was divine intervention, proof that the forces working for you were always stronger than those working against you. This truth is written in Zechariah 2 verse 5, where it is declared, "And I myself will be a wall of fire around it, declares the Lord, and I will be its glory within." This is exactly what happened to you. They tried to break through, but they were met with resistance they couldn't see, a fire that consumed every attempt they made against you. You were always protected, even in the moments you didn't feel it. Every trial was part of your refinement. Every hardship was a test to strengthen you. They never expected you to endure, to push through, to come out the other side with more wisdom, more clarity, more divine power than before. But that is exactly what you did. And this is what terrifies them the most. Not only did their attacks fail, but they made you stronger. And that protection wasn't just external, it was within you. The reason their attacks failed is because you were built to withstand them. You have the ability to transmute darkness into light, to take what was meant to harm you and use it as fuel for your ascension. Every loss you endured cleared space for something better. Every betrayal strengthened your discernment. Every moment of isolation pushed you deeper into self-awareness, into wisdom, into alignment with your divine calling. You didn't just survive, you transformed. And that is what terrifies them the most. They threw everything at you, and instead of falling, you rose. The confusion they tried to create only made you see clearer. The energy they drained from you has returned tenfold. The setbacks they placed in your path became stepping stones to your elevation. And now they don't know what to do, because now they can feel it. Something has shifted. You are no longer vulnerable. You no longer react to their attacks because you know they cannot touch you. You no longer live in fear because you see through the illusion. You walk with a confidence that radiates divine protection, and they know it. The very presence that once made you a target has now made you untouchable. They watch from a distance, hoping for signs of weakness, hoping you will slip back into the confusion and exhaustion that once held you down. But it will never happen. You are in full control of your energy now, and they are the ones retreating. Comment victory if you feel the power of divine protection in your life. Let it be known that you are not just surviving, you are thriving. Because now we need to talk about the undeniable signs that they know they lost. Before we expose the signs that prove they fear you now, take a moment to subscribe. If this message speaks to your spirit, share this video and click the super thanks button to support this channel. Now let's continue. Signs that they are now afraid of you. There comes a moment in your journey when you begin to notice a shift, a silence that is both deafening and telling. It may start subtly at first. The voices that once whispered against you, the hands that once worked to block your path, suddenly withdraw. Those who once delighted in seeing you struggle, who thrived on your setbacks, who took pleasure in stirring conflict in your life, have now grown quiet. And it isn't because they have found peace or moved on. It's because they are afraid of your growth, afraid of your resilience, afraid of the power that now radiates from you. You are no longer the person they thought they could manipulate. The strength you have cultivated is undeniable, and in their silence, they reveal their surrender. They have given up the fight, not because they wanted to, but because they had no choice. The power dynamic has shifted, and whether they admit it or not, they know they no longer have control over your story. It is a strange feeling, isn't it? To realize that those who once sought to harm you now fear you. For so long, you may have felt like the underdog, fighting unseen battles, enduring betrayals, and overcoming obstacles placed in your way by people who never wanted to see you rise. Perhaps you have spent sleepless nights wondering why you were constantly under attack, why you had to face so many trials while others seemed to move through life unscathed. And yet, something in you refused to break. Something in you refused to give them the victory they so desperately wanted. Now, the very ones who tried to derail you are stumbling on the path they paved for your downfall. They are lost in the confusion they once wished upon you. The weight they tried to place on your shoulders has come back to press down on them instead. This is the law of the harvest. What a man sows, he shall also reap. Galatians 6 verse 7. The energy they sent your way has returned, and they are now facing the consequences of their own actions. Their misfortunes are not coincidences. They are a reflection of the very battles they initiated against you. What they meant for your harm has been turned back on them, and in this divine reversal, you see the justice of God unfolding before your very eyes. This shift did not happen by accident. It is not merely a stroke of luck or a random turn of events. This is divine intervention at work. The prophet Zephaniah spoke of a time when God himself would remove the hands of the oppressors and silence the voices of the enemies of his people. The Lord thy God in the midst of thee is mighty. He will save, he will rejoice over thee with joy. He will rest in his love. He will joy over thee with singing. Zephaniah 3 verse 17. God prepares a table before you in the presence of your enemies. Psalm 23 verse 5. Not to humiliate them, but to show them that their attempts to stop your purpose were futile from the start. Your struggles, your battles, and your pain were not in vain. They were the very instruments God used to refine you, to shape you, to elevate you. He allowed the opposition, not because he wanted you to suffer, but because he wanted you to emerge stronger, wiser, and untouchable. And now, as your enemies witness your rise, they are struck with the realization that they never had the power they thought they did. Their silence is not just an absence of conflict, it is an admission of defeat. And the signs don't stop there. As you step into this new season, you will notice how everything that once seemed impossible is now effortlessly aligning. The doors that were slammed shut in your face are swinging open without resistance. The opportunities that were once withheld from you are now presenting themselves in abundance. The people who once dismissed you are suddenly taking notice, drawn to your energy, your confidence, your undeniable presence. It is as if a veil has been lifted, and the world is now seeing what God saw in you all along. This is the power of divine elevation. When God moves, nothing can stand in the way. No enemy, no betrayal, no scheme of the wicked can undo what God has ordained. And this is how you know the battle is truly over. You are no longer fighting. You are thriving. You are walking in purpose. You are stepping boldly into the destiny that was always yours, unbothered by the shadows that once loomed over you. This is what it means to be victorious. This is what it means to be fearless. So take a moment and reflect. Think about where you were, how far you've come, and the battles you have overcome. What once seemed like an endless war has now become a distant memory. You have stepped into a reality where the very people who once sought to bring you down now stand in silent recognition of your power. And this power does not come from mere human strength or effort. It is the manifestation of God's hand upon your life. You are walking proof that no weapon formed against you shall prosper. Isaiah 54 verse 17. You are evidence that God defends his own, that he lifts up those who remain faithful, that he turns every attack into a stepping stone for greater things. This is your confirmation that you have shifted into a new dimension, where fear no longer dictates your decisions, where opposition no longer has a hold on you. You have become untouchable, not because you sought revenge, but because God has declared you victorious. And now, all that remains is for you to walk boldly in this truth, to embrace the power that has always been within you, to stand tall in the knowledge that you were never forsaken. Comment fearless if you see these signs in your own life. If you have witnessed the silence of those who once opposed you, if you have seen the misfortune of those who tried to harm you, if you are experiencing doors opening effortlessly before you, this is your confirmation. You are stepping into the fullness of your purpose, and nothing can stop you now. But this is just the beginning. Now let's talk about what happens next. What happens after you win spiritual battles? There comes a moment in your journey when you realize that victory is not the end. It is the beginning of a new chapter. After every spiritual battle, a shift in power takes place, one that changes the way you perceive yourself and the world around you. You are no longer the one constantly under attack, struggling to find your footing. Instead, you have stepped into a position of authority. The same battles that once overwhelmed you no longer hold the same weight, because you have grown stronger. Your spirit is fortified, your discernment is sharpened, and your energy is now reserved for things that truly matter. The struggles that once consumed your mind are now beneath you, and this is not arrogance. It is divine positioning. You have risen above the warfare, and now you move with wisdom and certainty, understanding that not every battle requires your engagement. Yet, this newfound position of strength does not come without its own challenges. Victory changes the way others see you, and it also changes the way you see them. Some who once stood beside you may now feel intimidated by your growth. Others who once doubted you may now seek your guidance. And then there are those who resent the power you now hold, not because you have wronged them, but because your elevation highlights their stagnation. This is the reality of spiritual ascension. Your presence alone disrupts the comfort of those unwilling to grow. The challenge now is not to revert to old patterns in an attempt to make others comfortable, but to embrace the new version of yourself fully. You have earned this place through trials, through perseverance, through unwavering faith. Do not shrink yourself to accommodate those who were content with your struggles but are uneasy with your success. What you have experienced is not just personal growth. It is divine preparation. The prophet Habakkuk understood this concept well. In his time, he questioned God about the injustice and opposition faced by the righteous, but God's response was clear. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it. Because it will surely come, it will not tarry. Habakkuk 2 verse 3. Your battles were never about destruction, they were about refinement. Every hardship, every opposition, every challenge was allowed by God to prepare you for this very moment. The delays you faced were not denials. They were divine strategies. And now, standing on the other side, you see with new eyes. You understand the process. You see that nothing was wasted, and everything was orchestrated for your growth and alignment with your higher purpose. As this transformation unfolds, signs of divine intervention become undeniable. Doors that were once closed to you now swing open effortlessly. The people and opportunities that align with your purpose begin to gravitate towards you without force or struggle. Your spirit exudes a confidence that is not rooted in ego but in divine assurance. You walk into rooms with a presence that cannot be ignored. Your words carry weight, your actions are intentional, and your energy commands respect. This is not about proving anything to anyone. It is about stepping fully into the destiny that has always been yours. The same wisdom that sustained you in battle now guides you in victory. You are strategic, discerning, and empowered, no longer wasting energy on distractions but channeling it into purpose. This is the season where you operate at your highest capacity, where you fully embody the strength and authority that your trials have forged within you. This is what it means to truly win spiritual battles, not just to overcome them but to emerge transformed. The version of you that fought those wars is not the same version standing here now. You have elevated, evolved, and aligned with your divine purpose. And as you walk forward, you do so with the knowledge that no battle was in vain. You now understand the cycles of spiritual warfare, the lessons hidden in hardship, and the profound power of faith. You move differently because you see differently. You interact with the world differently because you understand the deeper, unseen dynamics at play. You are not just victorious, you are enlightened. And this enlightenment shapes every decision, every interaction, every step you take from here on. Comment victorious if this resonates with you. If you have stepped into this new season of power and clarity, acknowledge it, own it, walk in it, because this is only the beginning of what God has in store for you. Now, let's talk about what happens next. You have won this battle, but how do you make sure it never happens again? Stay with me, because in this final section, we will reveal how to shield your energy permanently. How to keep your energy shielded from future attacks. Now that you have emerged victorious, the real work begins. Protecting what you have fought so hard to attain. The battles you endured were not just tests of endurance. They were lessons in discernment, resilience, and spiritual alignment. You have stepped into a higher version of yourself, but with that elevation comes the responsibility of maintaining your energy. You are no longer the same person who once tolerated chaos, allowed negativity to take root, or ignored the warning signs of deception. This new phase of your journey requires a vigilant, intentional approach. It is not about living in fear of future attacks, but about establishing boundaries that preserve your peace and keep you aligned with divine purpose. The energy you carry is sacred, and now, more than ever, it must be guarded with wisdom. One of the greatest challenges after victory is the temptation to become complacent. When the battles subside and the adversaries retreat, it is easy to let your guard down. But spiritual attacks do not always come in the form of open warfare. Sometimes, they are subtle, disguised as familiar faces, tempting distractions, or seemingly harmless situations. This is why discernment is key. The enemy does not always attack head-on. Sometimes the strategy is infiltration. Have you ever noticed how, just when things start going well, an old habit, a toxic person, or a tempting opportunity suddenly reappears? These are not coincidences. They are tests of your spiritual fortitude. You must remain vigilant, not paranoid, but aware. The very clarity and strength you have gained must now be used to navigate this next level with wisdom and precision. The Bible offers a powerful perspective on maintaining spiritual protection. In the book of Nahum, the prophet declares, "The Lord is good, a stronghold in the day of trouble, and he knoweth them that trust in him." Nahum 1 verse 7. This verse is a reminder that God remains your ultimate shield. But trust is a two-way relationship. To remain under divine protection, you must continue walking in faith, practicing obedience, and staying connected to the source of your strength. This means maintaining your prayer life, immersing yourself in Scripture, and keeping your spirit nourished through worship. It also means recognizing that your intuition, your spiritual discernment, is a gift that must be honored. If something feels off, it is not to be dismissed. God often speaks through the still, small voice within you. Ignoring it can leave openings for the very forces you have overcome to find a way back in. Trust what you sense. It is not paranoia, it is divine guidance. As you move forward, tangible signs will affirm that your energy is shielded and you are walking in divine protection. You will notice that certain people and situations no longer hold the same power over you. Relationships that once drained you will naturally dissolve. Your environment will shift, and you may feel drawn to places, practices, and routines that elevate your spirit rather than deplete it. Opportunities will come effortlessly, not through force but through divine alignment. The more you operate at a higher frequency, through prayer, fasting, nature, silence, and intentional solitude, the more impenetrable your energy becomes. There is an unmistakable peace that follows those who are spiritually fortified. You will no longer feel the need to explain yourself, defend your choices, or engage in unnecessary battles. Your presence alone will be enough to command respect and repel negativity. This is what it means to truly live in victory, not just to win battles but to walk in sustained peace. Protecting your energy does not mean isolating yourself out of fear. It means moving wisely, knowing that not everyone deserves access to you. It means keeping your spirit nourished, ensuring that your environment is conducive to growth, and remaining unwavering in your faith. You have already won the war, but now you must steward your victory. Do not let old habits or familiar temptations rob you of what you have built. Keep your mind sharp, your heart guarded, and your spirit aligned with God's purpose for your life. Let your discernment lead, and trust that you have been equipped for this next chapter. You are not merely surviving anymore, you are thriving, standing firm in divine authority. Comment protected if this resonates with you. If you are committed to maintaining your peace, to guarding your energy, and to walking in divine wisdom, let it be known. This is your season of sustained elevation, and nothing shall break the shield that God has placed around you. Now, let's talk about what happens next. There's a moment in every journey when the weight of your struggles feels almost too much to bear. Maybe you're in that moment now. You've fought hard, endured challenges that would have crushed others, and yet you're still standing. But standing doesn't always feel victorious, does it? Sometimes it feels like you're barely holding on. Perhaps you've found yourself questioning if all the effort has been worth it. You wonder if the darkness you've faced has stolen too much from you. Your time, your peace, your hope. If that's where you are right now, I want you to know this. You are not alone. What you're feeling, the doubts and the fears, they are not unique to you. Others have been in this place before, and many have risen stronger because of it. And if they can rise, so can you. You didn't arrive here by accident. The struggles you faced weren't random events or bad luck. They were deliberate, calculated challenges designed to test your resolve. You've been through the kind of pain that changes people. You've endured betrayal, loss, rejection, and moments of profound isolation. And yet, through it all, you refused to let the darkness consume you. There were days you wanted to give up, weren't there? Days when it felt easier to surrender to the weight pressing down on you. But something inside you wouldn't let go. It kept whispering that you were meant for more, that the battles you faced were not the end of your story. The emotional toll of this journey has been heavy, but it has also been refining you. It has shaped you into someone who can face anything without fear. The darkness didn't break you. It revealed the strength that was always within you. Consider Isaiah 60 verse 1. A verse that doesn't get the attention it deserves. Arise, shine, for your light has come, and the glory of the Lord rises upon you. This is not just a beautiful phrase. It's a declaration. It's a reminder that after every season of darkness comes a time of light. The darkness you endured wasn't the end. It was the beginning of something new. Just as dawn follows night, your light is now breaking through. What you've experienced wasn't meant to destroy you. It was meant to prepare you. You've been refined by fire, and now you shine brighter than ever. This is your season of rising. This is the moment when the power you've always had is fully revealed. You're not stepping into the light. The light is already upon you. All you need to do is stand tall and embrace it. And now look around you. Can't you see how things are changing? The opportunities that once seemed out of reach are suddenly within your grasp. The relationships that drained you have been replaced by ones that nurture your soul. Even your own thoughts and feelings have shifted. Where once there was doubt, there is now clarity. Where once there was fear, there is now peace. These changes aren't coincidental. They are the tangible signs that your transformation is real. You are no longer the person who lived in fear, constantly on the defensive. You are now someone who walks boldly in their power. The darkness that tried to break you no longer has any hold. Divine intervention has been at work, aligning events, people, and circumstances to guide you toward your purpose. The very forces that sought to destroy you have instead been used to strengthen you. The world around you is changing because you have changed. The fear is gone. The strength remains. So here you are, standing in your light, untouchable and unstoppable. What comes next is entirely up to you. Will you embrace this power, this freedom that you fought so hard to claim? Will you let go of the lingering doubts and fully step into the purpose that has been waiting for you all along? Chosen one, you have already overcome the greatest obstacles. The darkness couldn't break you then, and it won't break you now. If this message spoke to you, like this video, subscribe for more, and share it with others who need to hear this truth. Comment "I am chosen" if you know that no attack can ever break you again. The time of fear is over. Now you rise. The world will never be the same.